Hey sisters, welcome back to my channel. You know I'm always coming to you with those relatable topics. So if you haven't already, please go hit that subscribe button, sis. Tell a friend to tell a friend about my channel. And by the looks of the title, you already know what we're gonna get into. So let's get right into the video. Hey y'all, I hope you're doing alright, okay? It's a new year and let's talk about it. So much has changed, so much has happened since the last time I gave you guys an update, and I'm here to spill all the tea, okay guys? So make sure you hit that subscribe button for this one, please, because I'm about to get real personal, all right? And at the end of the day, you know, I never keep nothing from you guys. I'm always being an open book because I just know that my story resonates with somebody out there. I know that I am not the only woman to go through these things, and I am okay with using myself as an example. I'm fine with it, okay? So at the end of the day, my story can help and change someone else's life out there, and that's the goal, right? As a relationship and wellness coach, now I can use my story to help other lives, and I'm all right with that. I think that's a job well done if you ask me, okay? Because a lot of people have too much pride to share their downfalls. A lot of people just want to seem like they're a-okay to the public and everything is perfect and dandy in their life, and I am not about that life, okay? I am very transparent, and I need you to understand that I'm here with you, sis. How about that? All right? First things first, my ex-husband. For those of you who know and don't know, if you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. You know what to do. Give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, and share, okay? For those of you who are aware, dealing with my ex-husband has been hell. Complete hell. I don't know how else to put it, okay? So I haven't been trying. As a matter of fact, I think it's like our 5th or 6th restraining order that just ended like a week ago. Listen, a girl is tired, okay? A girl is beyond tired and don't got the time, all right? If you don't want to be a man that is honorable, that's your problem, not mine, okay? A lot of men, they'll do what they do and then they try to pinpoint their mistakes on someone else and make it seem like, you know, it's all the other person's fault. And at this point, we too grown. We too grown, darling. So if you want to continue to sit in your chaos and your destruction behavior, go ahead. I got more things to worry about and more things to look forward to at this point in time in my life. Guys, when you go and look back at my older videos, you'll see how far I've come in a short amount of time, okay? I went from being like bitter, broken, a lost soul, just completely down and out, to now confident, filled with self-love, focused, stable, and just all around back on my boss, okay? So right now I'm just sitting in my glory, so to speak. I'm sitting in my glory. But if I'm being all the way honest with you guys, not all that glitters is gold, and this is why I say that. At this point in time in my life, I'm trying to still figure out, okay, what does my future look like? I've picking up the pieces to my puzzle, and now the pieces are slowly but surely coming back together into one complete image. But I'm still trying to figure out what is that image going to be. You catch my drift? Like, a person, because a woman, as a matter of fact, can sit back and say, okay, I'm going after my happily ever after. But what does your happily ever after look like? Did you map it out in your mind? I think this is the reason why people would tell you, when you're going after your goals in life and you're going after your dreams, have a vision board. Have a vision board so you know at each stage where you're going to turn and how you're going to go about things, right? So that's where I'm at in my life right now. I just feel like things are slowly coming together to the one complete image that I am aiming for, that I'm going for. But in retrospect, I still have to deal with my reality. And my reality is still not as it should be. I still have to deal with a lot of unnecessary things, such as, you know, stalkers, harassment, theft. Like, there's so much going on in my world right now, and I know I come on camera and I make it seem so nice, make it seem like everything is so put together and organized, because yes, now I could keep on top of things. Now I'm no longer anxious and depressed and worrisome, because I have learned to let go and let God, girl. There is power in that, okay? Sometimes you gotta just sit back and let things play out, because there's power in that. You don't have to take control of every single last situation. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes when people think they're hurting you, in the midst of it, you're gonna be devastated, because I was. But when you actually get through it and let it play out, you see that really they were hurting themselves. It had absolutely nothing to do with you. So at the end of the day, when you sit back and let it play out, you're letting God do what he got to do. And oftentimes, that's just protecting you and moving you out the way so you can go to your blessings. So I moved myself all the way out the way. Okay, sis. I moved myself out the way. I let things play out the way it was supposed to play out. And now look at me. I mean, I haven't made it yet, but I will. All right. Yeah, so at this point in time, I have a lot going on. I mean, I have to have a bodyguard. Like, I have to have a licensed firearm. I have to have lawyer, like, oh my God, lawyer fees are killing me. Okay, I ain't telling no lie. Lawyer fees are killing me. Like, I might as well have stayed down and out. Because, girl, let me tell you something. When people see you picking yourself back up and brushing your shoulders off, that's when they feel the need to try to come for you. And it's just like, where were you at when I was down and out and had nothing and nobody? Where was that energy? That would have been the right time for you to do it. But now you want to try and do it when I'm already back up on my feet and on my grind. Like, too late. Try again. Too late. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, get a grip. Get a grip. Like, people are so weird. And I really don't understand the aspect of, okay, I'm going to try to tear down another human being, because in retrospect, misery loves company. Yeah, misery loves company, but what is it going to benefit you? That's the thing, right? I had to go through that situation with my ex-husband. In the midst of it all, I had to try and rebalance life for my kids, give them stability, give them back their childhood, because their childhood was robbed from them. You know what I'm saying? I had to do all of that and get myself back in order mentally, spiritually, and physically. And it was a task. It was a task, but I got it done by the grace of God Himself. I got it done. And like I said, it's not easy. Like, the more I fight for my life, literally, is the more I am being attacked. And something along the lines of, when you choose me and choose my way, you will gain my followers and you will gain my enemies. And it hit me like lightning because it totally makes sense. When I sit back and think about all that I have come from, the things that I have survived and made it through, you would think then that that was a time that enemies would really appear. But no. Enemies appear when you are doing right, when you're doing what you're supposed to do. That's when they come out the woodworks. They come from every freaking angle, and it's just like, why now? Why now? You know what I'm saying? But when I read that in the Bible, it just clicked like, yes, it makes total sense. Why do you think you see a lot of people that become successful and then all of a sudden they got a whole bunch of haters out of nowhere? Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's people that they haven't seen or talked to in years that just decided to just pop up out of nowhere. Like, it's real. So I'm experiencing that now. I'm experiencing some things that are just like mind-boggling to me, but it's reality. But the one thing for me is I'm just tired of being in the court system. I'm really tired of it. I just feel like it's disabling me in some type of way, and actually it's assisting a stereotype against my life as a young African American woman and as a single mom. And I absolutely despise it. I despise it. So, like I said, this is like our fourth, sixth, I don't know, restraining order. And it was over last week. It expired last week. And I filed to renew it. But then I ended up sick. You guys saw the video, right? So, at this point in time, it's like, okay, gotta call my lawyer, gotta do this, gotta do that. And I'm like, for what? Like, why should I keep giving this man my money, my hard-earned money? Like, you turned your back on your children, not even me. Because at the end of the day, to hell with me. Like, yes, I was your wife for over a decade. Yes, I dedicated my life to you for over a decade. But that was my choice. So I'm not going to hold that over nobody's head, right? But at the end of the day, you made your choice. You turned your back on us. You're giving hell because you don't want to pay child support. And if you guys really want to know, I was very lenient with the child support. I was fair. Because during our divorce, I literally, first I said to him, I will not take you to court for child support. I'll give you the chance to bounce back and pay at your own leisure. But then he started more chaos and more destructive behavior. And for the last time, I just said to myself, like, all right, you want to keep taking my kindness for weakness? Okay, cool. We could go to court. I don't have to be bothered with you. I don't. It's my life too. You don't control nothing over here. Right? So I finally get a lawyer, go to court. You know, he's with the antics, lying about his social security number. Child, he gave them the wrong social security number. He quit his job because he didn't want to pay. It was just like a whole bunch of ridiculousness, okay? And I said to my lawyer, I said, listen, I'm not really here to bite his neck off. Like, what happened, happened. But at the end of the day, he asked me for these kids. It wasn't a situation where I just popped up pregnant. He asked me. I had to drop out of nursing school to be an obedient wife and give this man the kids that he asked me for. So why do I have to go through this? At the end of the day, I'm not asking you for a various amount of funds that is ridiculous. I'm just asking you to be a father. That's it. A father with a conscious mind and a conscious heart. But I guess that was too much to ask for, and how dare I, right? So anywho, I told the lawyer, I said, listen, whatever is the bare minimum that he can do is okay with me. Of course, you know, I got family like, girl, you crazy. Look what he did to you. Are you insane? You better let him pay up. Are you crazy? You got two, not one, but two. And they are expensive. Yeah, I know all of that. I know all of that. But, you know, they say you can't match evil with evil. It's gonna be a never-ending cycle. It's not gonna end. And I'm okay with being the humble one. I have always been okay with being the humble one. Trust me. If a woman can just get up and just walk away after she invested blood, sweat, and tears into a situation, that is humble. Okay? That's humble. So I was alright with being humble. I said, whatever. Let him pay the bare minimum, whatever. Okay? Listen, they readjusted it so much. First it went to $40 a week for 2 kids. Then it went to $80. Then it went to $20 a week. Then it went to $120. Then it went to $180. Then it went back to $120. Listen. I was just like, listen, I don't got time to keep coming into this courtroom because this man don't want to do what he's supposed to do. Not to mention, he keeps bringing up the fact that he has kids elsewhere after our divorce, which don't pertain to nothing. That has nothing to do with nothing. Okay? These two came first, and they're the oldest, and you asked for them. I didn't make them by myself. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. We go through that situation. It's done. Court ordered, okay, pay $120 a week. I'm like, all right, cool, because at the end of the day, hey, her kids is not going to suffer. By the way, that is something that he said to me during the divorce. He said he wanted me and my kids to suffer. And that he was going to sit back and watch us suffer. Because he didn't want the divorce. So, I already knew what was what. And at this point, I told myself, that's why I always tell you guys, your mind is a very powerful thing. What you tell yourself will definitely define your capabilities moving forward. I told myself that, listen, sis, honey, girl, child, your kids need you. Forget about what he's doing, what he got going on, because he don't care. So you need to care, and you need to get your kids back on track, and you are going to take care of your kids no matter what. And that's exactly what I've been doing, guys. They're happy again. My kids have everything they need to be comfortable. They're at peace. They're safe. I don't got to be worrying about them no more. Because that was another thing. Every time he would try to file for visitations, it would be a whole bunch of chaos, like as if he's trying to prove a point. Like, but what are you proving by abusing your own kids? Like, what are you, I don't get it. What are you proving? What are you proving? That you can continue to hurt us? Okay, bravo. We already discovered that. We already learned that you're capable of doing that without having a guilty conscience. We learned that, okay? So what are you proving? Like, he would say I kidnapped his kids. He would say that I'm keeping them away from him, when really every time he got access to visitation, the police would have to be called because he's doing too much to my children. And I say my children because this man has shown me that it was never really about the kids. It was about me and being able to have his own way with me. And once he realized he couldn't do that, it was like, oh, to hell with everything else. That's what you call a narcissist. And at first, I would have never been the type of woman to claim that word narcissism, because as much as I've been through, I think that the word narcissist is very stereotypical to our men. And I don't want to downgrade our men. I mean, there's some good men out there. There is. But we just have to find them. Right? So, on the flip side, apart from going through all of that mess with my ex-husband, you guys remember the situation with my father. Now, it's so crazy because I did a video, I think 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, where I explained to you guys that the justice system is it's not right. It's not right. And it explains why a lot of our women are being abused and perhaps murdered, and there's no justice. None. They have all these programs to claim to protect you, but really it doesn't do anything. And when you do go and try to protect yourself or file what you need to file, or make them aware of what's going on in your life, they treat you as if you're the culprit when really you're the victim. There's no help. I was on TikTok the other day, and there's this video going around where a girl was in an abusive situation, and in order to call the police for help, she had to act like she was ordering a pizza. But I mean, that says volumes. It just goes to show you, like, women can be literally harassed, abused, mistreated, stolen from, the whole nine, and nothing is there to guide and protect these women. Nothing. I know from my experience, there was, family relations, and I think it's called victims advocate, and there's all these abuse hotlines. And let me tell you something, okay? The minute you call those people is the minute you put yourself further into the court system for no reason. Let me tell you that, okay? I've learned the hard way. They will, call and check up on you and say, oh, okay, what's new? And then that's it. They'll write their notes and that's it. You become a case study. That's what you become, a case study. But there's no help. Sis, you have to dig yourself out. And that's exactly what I had to do with both situations between my ex-husband and my father. I had to dig myself out. I had to start thinking and say, okay, this is what I gotta do next. And you gotta be quick with it. You gotta stay on top of your game. So this is why healing is important. I also took the time to heal, guys. I took the time to heal on a level that I never knew possible. Because, oh yeah, I was distraught, honey. I was distraught, but I was mostly in shock and disbelief that the two men in my life that I held to a higher standard could stoop so low with me. Especially after, I'm not perfect. We all make mistakes, but for me, I knew in the back of my mind that I did nothing, absolutely nothing out of the way to deserve this. You know what I'm saying? So it hit different. And I think it hits different for a lot of us women too. Like we become completely traumatized to the point where it's like, did that really just happen? Like, did that happen to me? Was he talking to me? Wait. Did my life just flash before my eyes? Wait. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so when you heal and you force yourself to heal, now you're forcing yourself to really focus on the situation and ask yourself those hard questions that need answers. You need answers to those questions so that you can grow and move on. I stress this a lot in my videos. You have to grow through what you go through. And it's very, 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 very important to your transformation process in life. Very, very important. You can't transform or move on from something until you have fully absorbed it and acknowledged it, right? So this is what really helps me heal and gain back my focus so that I can transform to the confident, successful, loving woman that I am today. Okay? The serenity prayer. I know it's corny, but it worked for me. The serenity prayer, right? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and the courage to change the things that I can and the wisdom to know the difference. I had to recite that prayer almost every morning for 2.5 years. Okay? But that prayer did something for me. So if you're a woman that has a similar background as I do, and you're trying to heal, you're trying to get back on track, you have to be able to cling on to something that works for you. So the serenity prayer worked for me. Motivational speakers worked for me. I did a little bit of therapy, counseling, I would say. Just a tad bit. Because having someone to talk to while you're going through such detrimental times in your life helps. I didn't seek counseling because I was losing my mind. I sought counseling because I was at a point in time in my life where I didn't trust nobody. I didn't trust anyone. Completely nobody. Not even my mother. I didn't trust to ask her opinion anymore. I didn't trust to ask my friend's opinion anymore. I didn't trust nobody. So why not go to a professional that can see the situation from the outside looking in and narrow down to me what went wrong, why it went wrong, and what I can do to fix it. Which is exactly why you would book a counseling session, right? To gain clarity. And this is so, I think this is so like God's doing, because let me tell you something. I had no clue, guys. No clue that I was going to become a relationship and wellness coach. Let me just be completely honest with you guys. I had no clue. I knew that I was a business oriented woman from day one. I always had business ideas and goals. I knew that when I left my marriage, I knew I was going to start a business. I just didn't know what kind. I knew that I wanted to stay true to my career, which is in healthcare, but I didn't know what I wanted to do, which direction I was going to take. So, how did I become a relationship wellness coach? Well, after going through all this stuff and my healing process, it just dawned on me one day, like, there's so much women out there that go through this and they have nobody to guide them, nobody to help them find their way, whether it's to heal, whether it's to find themselves again, whether it's to figure out what career path they want to take, whether it's to recognize whatever unhealthy relationships they have in their life currently and fix them. Whatever the case may be, everybody needs some type of guidance, right? So here I go. I'm dealing with all this chaos from my ex-husband, my father, abuse here, abuse there, theft here, theft there, the stalking, the harassing. So much drama. And in the midst of it all, I dedicated myself to growing through it. And I made it. I made it. I have grown through it all. But life is not what it seems. Like, I put out content for you guys every time, all the time. And the content that I put out, I'm very conscious of. I put it out from a place where, if a woman that was in my shoes once before, or a woman that is in my shoes now, she can relate. She can find something to connect to in my content, right? I don't just get up and put out content just for the sake of it. I'm as real as it comes, guys. I'm as transparent as it comes. And I've had clients, I've had married couples and I've had single people tell me they appreciate that about me. Because a lot of professionals, they just want that coin. They just want that coin. They tell you all the pretty nice things you want to hear. And, they disappear on you. I don't do that. I don't do that because I know what it feels like to be left hanging. Trust me. I know what it feels like to be left hanging when you're in the midst of a storm and you're just trying to find your way out that storm. I know what it feels like. So I don't do that. But I have to deal with a lot, guys, and I'm still dealing with it. But at the end of the day, life is not gonna be easy for none of us. None of us. We all have some type of tribulation within our journey that we have to experience. We just have to, because it goes back to the Bible verse that I shared with you that explains when you choose to be a man or a woman of God, right? when you choose to live by faith and not by sight, when you choose to not lean on your own understanding, but believe in the fact that He has a purpose for your life, then you'll understand what it means to truly let go and let God. Living as a faithful Christian being is hard. You're gonna get attacked from every which angle because your faith is being tested. And that's something else that I had to learn throughout this experience. My faith was being tested throughout this all. Because a lot of us, we only like to pray when things are bad. We don't have enough discipline to pray and give thanks when things are going smooth in our lives. So, at the end of the day, sis, nothing you go through in your relationships is for no reason. Everything serves its purpose. And what you go through is supposed to tie into your destiny. It's supposed to lead you to better and bigger things. All right? And I have reached that stepping stone in my life where I'm on my way to better, but in the midst of better, I'm still getting little daggers here and there. But I will never lose faith. Oh no. Oh no. When I look back, guys, and see how far I've come, and the fact that I could sit here with a smile on my face, and the fact that I could sit here and make use of my life, make use of my energy, and help heal others and help others, oh, I'm grateful. Grateful. Because the one thing that I've learned throughout this experience with my father and my ex-husband, those two men are men that I loved dearly. They are men that I would swear for. They're men that I would do anything for. But they have shown me their true colors. And I needed to see that. I needed to see their true character towards me, my children, and my livelihood, so that now I can navigate my way through life more smoothly. You see, the lesson that I have learned is, bottom line, throughout life, you have to cut your grass and you gotta pull out the weeds. Wow, I felt that. You gotta cut your grass and pull out the weeds so that your grass can continue to grow beautifully. You gotta avoid the snakes that are hiding in the grass. You gotta stay woke. And the only way for you to do that is to figure out who is who. That's the only way. And sometimes you're so much a good character and a good person that you don't need to have an argument with people for them to show their true colors. The goodness in you will trigger them. The goodness in you will make them just pop out at you and start acting crazy. And then you could really take a step back and say, wow, you like that? You think about me like that? You really don't have my best interests. Wow, you're like my secret enemy. Yes, we all have to go through that in life. We all have to figure out who is for us and who is not for us, so we can continue to blossom. And that goes back to what I said. You grow through what you go through. I was told a lot of hurtful things throughout this process. Some things like, nobody loves you, nobody cares about you or your kids. Your kids are nothing, you're nothing. Things like, you'll never make it in life, you'll never be nobody, nobody will ever like you. Things like, I'm gonna make sure you suffer for the rest of your life. Things like, you're such an idiot, you're so naive, you think being nice to everybody is a good thing. Things like, oh, I'm gonna make sure nobody cares about you, I'm gonna make sure nobody likes you, things of that nature. I've been told that on a repetitive basis throughout this whole process. And I'm not gonna say from who, because it was from both, right? It was from both of them. But the reason why I bring this up is because I want to show you guys that, healing is very important. What people say about you does not define you. People are gonna talk. People are gonna say whatever they want to say, but it doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't mean that it's true. And it's only true if you accept it to be true. But here's the thing, when you're so used to being abused mentally, physically, and emotionally, and oftentimes spiritually, you get so accustomed to it, to the point where everything becomes normal. Everything becomes normal. You start to tell yourself, like, okay, this is normal. It's normal for people to talk to me this way. It's normal for people to treat me this way. It's normal. And it's okay. But no, sis, no. Take it from me. It's not normal. It's not. It's not. These people, what they're really doing is they're taking their insecurities out on you. Because your kindness is weakness to them. So the more they break you down and make you weak, is the more you're kind to them. Is the more you embrace them. It's the more you say, everything's gonna be okay, I promise. Oh, I still love you. Don't worry. And that's what narc abuse is. I had to fully understand what narc abuse was. I had to fully understand why this was happening to me. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's because I was too kind. But this is the reason why. Because those people that were saying those things to me and treating me this way, ironically, those were the two people that were expected to love me, that were expected to protect me. I expected these people to love and protect me because of the title that they held. Husband, father. But a title is just a name. People don't have to live up to it. They don't. These were the two people that I admired the most in life. The two people, like I said, that I would do anything for. No questions asked. And the two people that were supposed to embrace me back the same way I embraced them. The two people that were supposed to appreciate all of me and everything about me and love me no matter what. But they did the complete opposite. The complete opposite. And the reason why I take the time to elaborate is because in relationships today, women look to their spouse, their partner, for validation. They want to know that, their partner sees them as the perfect woman. Their partner is so in love with them. Their partner adores them and worships the ground they walk on. But I'm here to tell you today, sis, you validate yourself. Because those people can switch on you at any moment. You do not become codependent on anyone to define you. Don't you ever. You define yourself within the self-love that you carry for yourself, within the self-confidence that you have for yourself, okay? So whether you're in a relationship or not, whether you have healthy relationships with family members or your best friends or not, you still know who you are. And you can hold your head high and be proud of the woman that you are. You catch my drift? Like, these people don't define you. These people can't tell you who you are. You know who you are. You know what you stand for. And that's what I had to learn. Lesson learned. And I grew through it. Look at me now. Oh, can't nobody tell me who I am today. Can't nobody. Can't nobody try to tear down my character. Can't nobody try to make me cry. Oh, no, no, no. I am exuberant. I am so... What's the word? I can't think of the word. I'm all that in a bag of chips right now. And can't nobody tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. But, I'm glad that I went through the depression, the anxiety, the disrespect, the humiliation, the abuse. I'm glad I went through it. I wouldn't change it for the world. Because like I said, in the midst of the storm, girl, in the midst of the storm, you gonna cry. You gonna feel like your world is over. But when you find the light at the end of the tunnel, when you find your way through that storm and the clouds have lifted and the sun is shining, you can look back and laugh like I'm doing now. You can look back and have the last laugh because you're better off than the way you started when the storm begun. If you understand what I'm saying. The way you were when you entered the storm is completely different from the way you are when you get out of the storm. You're gonna come out of that storm, that bad relationship, on top of your game. And this is why women have bounced back on lock. This is why. Because when a woman bounces back, baby, she is bouncing back like a true gem. Shining in all her glory. Refurbished, polished, and waxed down. Okay? I'm proud of myself. Completely proud of myself. The only thing that worries me right now are my kids. If I'm being completely honest. At this point in time in my life, I have recognized that I can no longer live for me. I have to live for my two boys. Because they may not have, what you guys don't realize is my father and their father was also my kids' role model. They looked up to them. So now they have nobody to look up to. They don't have an example of a man. And that leads me back into another stereotype as a single African American mother. But it's my reality. What am I going to do? I can't run into a relationship after relationship after relationship just because I don't want my kids to be a stereotype, just because I want them to have a role model. Because the next man probably will do 10 times worse. Or the next man will probably have good characteristics but horrible ways. Like, listen, don't nobody got time. Don't nobody got time. But what I do have time for is to make sure my kids are humbled, that they're grateful for this new chance at life that God has given us. So far, it has not been easy. It has not. It has been very rough. With a capital R. It has been so rough, guys. I can't even begin to tell you. But the one thing me and my kids have developed at this moment is a system where we encourage each other. We encourage each other to have hope for the future. Whatever the future holds, we don't know. My eldest son, we have this thing where, I'm trying not to cry. He's so smart, guys. He is so smart. My oldest son, he is so smart. It amazes me. Like, he thinks like a grown man at such a young age. And after all he's been through, all his disappointments with his father and his grandfather, I had to keep praying and say, God, please don't let my child's heart be broken forever. Please help him bounce back and understand that nothing is his fault and that he deserves better. And there's more out there waiting for him. He had it rough. He was like, how could grandpa do this to us? How could daddy do this to us? But, he would call his dad and his dad won't answer. He'll block him. He'll never call back. It's just like, my child and I have developed this thing where we encourage each other day by day. Day by day. And I have had the luxury of drawing closer to my children. And I'm so grateful because I feel like if this didn't happen, I would have never had the chance to grow closer to my children. And let me explain why. A lot of us moms, especially when we're married, all we could think about is work, providing for the home, keeping the home clean, keeping things together in our marriage and our relationships. Just responsibility after responsibility. That's all we focus on, right? And we forget our kids, our innocent kids. We forget them. We make sure, that they see us come home every day and we think that's enough. It's not enough. It's not. Our kids need a chance to bond with us, to get to know us. Our kids need that one-on-one time with us as mothers. I've had some clients that, because, some of our trauma stems from childhood, right? So I've had some clients where they say to me, oh, I don't know how to love because my parents never showed me love. We have to take that into consideration and try to break that now. Now. No matter what. If this situation didn't happen to me, I would constantly be on that cycle of responsibility, work, responsibility. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And before you know it, your kids grow up and then you look back and you're like, oh my God. But it's too late. It's too late. So I'm very grateful for the fact that I had time to heal, not only for myself, but for my kids. And I got to heal with my kids. And oh my God, let me tell you, that broke me down. Because as mothers, you don't want your kids to see you hurting. You try to hide it. You try to put on a brave face like everything is fine. Oh, everything is okay. You don't want them to see you shed a tear because you don't want to traumatize them. And you don't want to stress them out. But oftentimes, sometimes, you just got to remember that your kids are human and so are you. It's better to take it, and sit in it. Let them see you go through it so that they can understand. So that when they become grown people in relationships, they don't become toxic because they never had the chance to see somebody hurt. They never had the chance to understand what it means to be hurt or to see somebody they love hurt. Let them experience it. Let them see it. They need it. It's bad enough that I have sons. I don't ever want to hear my son's future wife come to me and say, oh, your son is toxic. He's so non-emotional. He's so shut down. He's so mean. When I cry to him, he just ignores me. We have enough of that. We have enough of that. We don't need no more. We need men out there that know how to handle emotions, that understand who they are as a man. So me being a mom and now a relationship and wellness coach, I had to take that L. I had to let my kids see me vulnerable. And I had to make them understand my vulnerability. I didn't want to. But it is a conscious choice I made so that in the future, my two young men will be respectable men. Men that know how to handle their household. To each his own. But that's a decision I had to make for my children. And another thing is, I didn't want my kids to think that abuse is okay. It's not. You have no reason to lay hands on a woman. None. You're 10 times stronger more than a woman. Your body mass alone is more than a woman's. Your intelligence sometimes is more than a woman's. Not to say women are dumb, but men are generated like that. They're just built to be leaders. Mind, body, and soul. So in every capacity, they beat us at it. It has been proven. But the only reason why women can bounce back now and stand in a man's position and take on a man's role is because when we heal, we understand that people can only do to us what we allow them to do. So we take back control of our lives. We get to the point where we say, no more. No more BS from these men. That's the only reason why. And men are intimidated by it. So intimidated by it. But it doesn't make the abuse okay. Oftentimes, that is why narcissistic men abuse women, because they feel intimidated by your growth, by your ability to take back control of yourself in your life, by your ability to stand in your truth. Broken or not broken. You know what I'm saying? So, my children, we've come a long way. But for the most part, nowadays, it's mostly smiles. I'm forever grateful, forever humbled. And I just want you guys to really understand. You have a choice. Whatever you go through in life, you have a choice. It's either going to make you or break you. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. So far, I'm bouncing back. I'm in the midst of getting my agency up and going, building my clientele, putting out content for you guys, just staying positive and putting in the work, because really and truly, that's all we can do. Put in the work and reap our harvest. There's been a lot of chaos behind the scenes, but for the most part, I have my bodyguard, I have my lawyers. I'm tired of spending lawyer money, God knows. But sometimes, you gotta do what you gotta do. And until better comes, I will always keep you guys posted. In the midst of it all, if you feel the need to book a session with me, you want somebody to talk to, you need some guidance, feel free. The link is down in the description below. And oftentimes you can message me on my IG and I'll definitely respond. Sometimes I give free consultations there, so I'll link it right here. But I'm here, guys, and I'm hanging in there. I love you all. Thank you so much for the support. My real, genuine supporters, thank you so much. And we're going to ride this out, guys. We're going to ride it out. Remember, you are not alone. That is my company motto. You deserve the love you seek. All right? So until next time, God bless, guys.